This is the NFL Network. It appears Adam Rank is responsible for several of these. Gentlemen, I will give you the bold prediction. You tell me if you think this is going to happen, long shot, or no way. Or you can come up with your own describing words.
Happen, long shot, no way, right?
Yeah,
okay,
going to happen. It's a long shot. How about add a fourth option in there, coin flip, 50-50.
Okay.
First bold prediction, CeeDee Lamb will not be as productive as we think. Rank qualifies this as saying, don't get all hyped up because Amari Cooper's gone. CeeDee Lamb's going to automatically take this huge step in his first year. Michael Gallup is out. We don't know for how long. So how much is the other team going to be able to focus on CeeDee Lamb and just take him out of the mix? Chiafalo, let's start with you. How do you see this thing going?
I see the Cowboys really doing like a concerted effort, game to game, play to play, getting CeeDee Lamb the ball. I think that is going to be at or near the top of their priority list. And so I think just from a sheer volume standpoint, I think that is a long shot that CeeDee Lamb is not as productive. Now, we might not come away from the season and go, oh, CeeDee Lamb, definite, bona fide, guaranteed, #1 wide receiver, top 10 in the league kind of deal, because there might be some drops and things. But when you go look at the raw numbers of CeeDee Lamb at the end of the year, I think they're going to be huge.
Brian?
I'm going to say long shot as well, because I kind of feel like that Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy's job depends on it. So, I can't say it's for sure happening, but I feel like just watching some of the OTA practices and just watching formations and some of the short motions and some of the in and out like breaks and stuff they're trying to do to kind of free him up a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I don't see teams being able to completely shut him down. If he gets shut down, it's probably because of his own fault of maybe some drops like you were talking about, Eric. Maybe the quarterback. I'm interested to see, but I think they're going to try and get him shook loose on some routes this year to get him going. So I'm going to call long shot on that one.
I think it's probably going to happen. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I don't think Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott, and I guess Mike McCarthy as well, are going to be creative or insist that the ball goes to CeeDee Lamb. I think they're going to look at it and say, okay, they're taking away CeeDee Lamb over here. Let's go to who they're leaving open. And I think that's going to lend itself to maybe Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
I would love to believe they're going to change something substantial. But I think they look at this year as, okay, we're getting Dak back. The offensive line's getting a little revitalized here with the drafting of Tyler Smith, and we're going to try to run the ball better. But I don't.
So you don't see the numbers.
Have we seen them be able to get the ball to the #1 target?
Hell no, they haven't.
No.
But the caveat to my statement is, I believe that Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy's job depends on it.
Yeah.
So if you realize, if all the study that you've done this summer up till you're getting ready for camp, and you say, hey, we need to get the ball to CeeDee Lamb more, and they don't do that, then they deserve to get fired.
And I think CeeDee Lamb is outstanding. I don't mean any shot at him. I think I defend him more than the average
You're
media.
worried more about McCarthy and Kellen Moore doing it. And I don't see a problem with what you're saying.
What about the idea that they just want to make sure that they prove that they were right about CeeDee Lamb? We're going to show you that we weren't wrong here. I know Justin Jefferson's been awesome. You can look at all these wide receivers that get drafted and they turn out to be great. We're going to show you that we were right on CeeDee Lamb. Watch all these numbers. And I think Dak's really going to try and get him to the ball a ton.
Well, I think it makes sense, but there's no reason to believe it other than what Brian just said right there about the OTAs. And hopefully we continue to see more of that in Oxnard. Like there's going to be crossing routes close to the line of scrimmage, your rub routes or pick plays or whatever it might be, just to continuously get him the ball with easy completions. But I have trained myself to not expect what makes sense and to not expect what the Cowboys, are going to come and show up with big changes. Right? Like we can count on one hand the number of times like Jason Garrett showed up when he was coach and we saw a significant change. And I think it was DeMarco Murray in 2014. Like they talked about him getting the ball a lot more and then it finally freaking happened. Yeah. But we don't see this organization decide to make bold sweeping adjustments to what they've done. So this would be on Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy. And I don't think they have it in them. To be creative enough or to be desperate enough.
I tell you what, I mean, I went back and forth on that because, again, just seeing him run some of those routes from the slot, those option routes where it's like it's in and out breaks and stuff like that to try and shake defenders. I'm hopeful that's just not, oh, hey, let's see how this looks, and then you shelve it, when you get to training camp.
Yeah.
That Gavin's right about that. We've yet to see them really, get somebody going that way.
I want to believe it, and I do believe Kellen Moore has it in him. He knows all the plays, but for some reason, he's not putting his foot down on that accelerator. He's going back to being conservative. I think he hears Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan in his head too much. And at some point, if he's going to make it, he has to say, believe in what you know. They call you a guru, but you keep showing up pretending like you're running a 90s offense 75% of the time. Up next, your bold predictions for the Cowboys 2022 season. Tony Pollard will be the Cowboys' leading receiver. Brian, do you want to buy that or sell it?
I'm selling that one. I think that they'll try and get him more involved, but the leading receiver, no. I'm going with no way on that one.
Yeah, same here. I think they are. I mean, they're clearly talking about it. Pressure's on them now to make sure they are getting Tony Pollard more touches, and I think you will see a lot more Tony Pollard used as a pass catcher and wide receiver, kind of, but not leading the team.
See, this goes back to like see Exhibit 1, because it's going to be about Kellen Moore again. Is Kellen Moore willing to let's find ways to get him, out in routes, screens, underneath routes. Let's find a way to be creative to get him the football. That's see Exhibit 1 to me, and we keep telling each other that I don't know if Kellen Moore is capable of doing that.
Yeah, talk about something we haven't seen
They would have to commit to that, and I don't think that they would commit to that.
Shoot, I'd love it if we could just get him to be fourth. Give me Lamb, Gallup, Schultz, and then Pollard coming in there in fourth, and I think that could be an outstanding development, like if he gets himself 40, 45 catches or something like that.
Yeah, you almost don't want him to be your leading receiver. Then you're kind of like, well, what the hell happened to CeeDee Lamb? And everything's kind of distorted here. There's a place for it. We're all clamoring for more Tony Pollard. We're not saying he needs to be your ex-receiver.
Yeah, when it comes to bold predictions, I would be like 50-50 at best that they're going to get him more involved than last year.
Yeah, me too.
To go forward to, hey, now they've made him a Marshall Faulk or Kamara type of superstar out of the backfield. That'd be shocking.
If they said he was the fourth leading receiver on the, I would maybe buy that.
Yeah,
but not the first. No.
Okay, 682 says if you depend on dumping off to Dalton Schultz all the time, your season is screwed. Well. They're in a bad division with a lame schedule, so to me, you can count on 10 or 11 wins and being out in the first round, just like I said all last summer. And I'm going to probably show up to Oxnard, take a look for a couple of weeks, and surmise about the same thing. Okay, up next, your bold predictions, NFL Network, Adam Rank. This is a 3-alarm prediction right here.
Okay,
Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. And I don't know if that's trolling Dak here. Let me read you. It's a quick blurb. Actually, you know what? I'm reading this off of bloggingtheboys.com, so I don't have Adam Rank's explanation for that. Maybe I can find that. But it suggests that Dak wasn't good last year, doesn't it? That is kind of shots fired at Dak Prescott. Is he going to be a good quarterback this year? I would think so. I think top 12 in the league is a shoe-in. And if he's protected well and they can run, I think he can put up top 5 stats again.
Just feel like, though, that Dak needed an off season of going back and studying what the problems were. Not go out and try and think, oh, I've got to do this with my foot and I've got to point my elbow and I got to get my hips open, all that mechanical stuff. I think the things that hold Dak back are the things of some of the uncertainties.
He's trying to get his butt in the film room, huh?
Well, I'm trying. No, Dak prepares hard. I'm just saying, though, how many times did we hear about that, like the guys that really, really study this tape, the Kurt Warners and guys like that, the Brian Baldingers, like, are talking about basic concepts that were putting the Cowboys in bad spots. And that's all I ask for Dak, because I know Dak will be in shape. He'll go in the back. He's probably throwing the football right now. But I want to know in those 8 games, what hurt you the most? What hurt you mentally? What did you not see? I think the things that really keep Dak Prescott from being a great quarterback is his vision of the field. I really do. I don't think it's the physical stuff. I think it's his ability to process and to see and to make the decision that that's what I'm going to do. That's where I'm going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
And when you don't protect him or you don't run well enough, and then now the pressure's on him more, and you take away that extra half second for him to have to process, I think that's a problem.
You got to have a recognition and experience edge against the defense if you're going to play without a running game. And we've seen throughout Dak's career, he prefers to throw it to guys who are definitively open, right? Not flashing into a window. Even though his tight window throws are there, it's because he lets the guys get open and then throws it to them, and the defender's closing as the ball arrives. Yeah. It's not like throwing with anticipation into space. I don't know how much of that stuff he can improve on. You know, like after you've been in the NFL for 6 years and spent your entire life doing it.
There's your point.
I think film and experience can give you an edge.
Yeah.
You know, is he all the way caught up? Is he optimized in that area, or is there more to grow on? Because you're going to have to run the ball, and he's going to have to run the ball, because once they play shell coverage and he needs guys to be open, it's kind of checkmate.
Yeah.
You know, so I still think he's a good quarterback, though. I mean, that the premise of that bold prediction is kind of wacky.
I would like to believe that, and you're right, man. Going into year 7, shouldn't be talking about a lot of these things we're talking about right now.
Now is the time where they talk about the athleticism and the experiences culminating into this perfect window of time where you're in your quarterback prime.
They can't stop him because he's reading all the coverages and he's getting in and out of checks and things like that.
And I think he is, well, you know, I think almost anybody is smart enough to get to a point where you can know what the defense is trying to do and make those checks, right? So that's how Peyton Manning would prepare, right? Mm-hmm. And he would know before the play started, I'm going here. Tom Brady was a freak in the ability to process things and tell his arm, no, that guy's open, let the ball go, right? He could see tiny windows of opportunity coming into play, so he would let his brain do all of the work after the ball was snapped, where Peyton Manning did all of his work before the ball was snapped. I think anybody can get to that Peyton Manning level, but you have to love living in that film room and grinding and knowing all of the tendencies of every player that you're going to come against, and that goes to another level of preparation. And you know, I don't know how many players are capable of that grind. Okay, how about this bold prediction? Mike McCarthy will get fired after losing to the Packers.
Oh, this is the point in the season where things get real juicy, man. I say this is the coin flip, because you already mentioned, Dawson, the crap quarterbacks you're going to be playing. So if you get to about that November time period, whatever it is, week 10, and you're sitting at 500 or something, and then you go get smacked by the former team, you dip under 500, that could be one of those moments. So I'll go coin flip on this.
I would say that's not going to happen. So I would say I don't think
you going long shot. You think borderline impossible?
Yeah, I think that's a long shot.
Jerry's not making a mid-season firing.
I don't think so. He's got guys available. He's got Sean Payton sitting right where there's no need. Now, if you want to see what Dan Quinn can do, if you want to see what Dan Quinn can do for half the season, maybe there you go. But I have a feeling that with Sean Payton out there, Dan Quinn under contract, I think Jerry's going to let this thing ride. I do.
You guys both make good points. I think Jerry was emotional at the end of last year. Yeah. He talked with Sean Payton for a week. Now wasn't the time to do it. So he's been trying to convince everybody that he wasn't mad about how the season ended ever since. Yeah. I think he could. I think if they lose in embarrassing fashion, just like 2010 when he fired Wade Phillips, he really, really, really didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But at some point he did. And if that pushes him to, 2-7 or whatever.
And he had his guy there. He had Jason Garrett there to pick it up, and Jason went 5-3 and got the job. Maybe this is the same thing. Maybe you guys are right about this. Maybe Dan Quinn gets the opportunity, turns things around, and then that's your next head coach.